Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon, all that good stuff. Good morning, world. I told you, I say good morning all the time. I know, I'm one of them crazy people like that. Good morning, everybody. Yo, Wando. What's up, man? So I'ma stop. But hey, them damn Lakers playing with some emotion, showing some emotion. I ain't even mad at that. But I hear you out 4 games. It's okay, man. It's alright, man. I know you ain't mad at that. When you come back, your boys are gonna make sure they're 4-2. Okay? Basketball is a game of streaks, man. If you don't know that, you should know that. I know Kuzma know that. Hey, Kuz, what's up, man? I got a coworker who tell me that every time I say Kuz, it doesn't sound like I'm saying Kuz, it sounds like I'm saying something else, you know what I mean? He said, he always tell me that, now you gonna be out here, you gonna see Kuzma, you gonna be like, hey, Kuz. He gonna be like, what the fuck you calling me? I'm like, yeah. What's up, Lou? What's going on? Yo, I had to throw this on. It's not cold in here, so I gotta take this my beanie off. I had to throw my lake on because I'm wearing for the first time ever my first item that has the LA Clippers emblem or insignia, anything on it. I Laker fan, always been a Laker fan, and even though the Clippers ain't did nothing to me, that's the crosstown hometown team. So I guess since I'm not from here, I guess still have that animosity towards wanting to like anything Clippers. I'm sorry, but I do have a good ass squad though, you know what I mean? I give y'all that. Y'all should make the playoffs. Just like y'all should have made it last year, just like we should have too, but I digress though. They got a t-shirt, right? They got a shirt that says that's like one of their mantras for the season, I think. And it says, let me see. Is this how you do it? There you go. Can you see it? See? It's a nice ass shirt. Like it says all hands on deck. You know what I mean? If you stayed with me up to this point, I don't have to break down why I would want to have this shirt. You know what I mean? My whole idea of individual collectivism. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna give everybody the benefit of the doubt and say that, all right, we right here with it. You know what I mean? So I ain't gotta break that down. I digress though. Oh nah, so I gotta hear that first. In the lowly NFC East, the Redskins reign supreme. I ain't mad at y'all. But speaking of lowly and NFC East and, you know, lowly and the NFL and their racism, if you're wondering why I keep coming back to the NFL, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, man, like, if you're black and American, you don't realize that there's an eternal, forever, always battle to want to keep the status quo of white supremacy alive and kicking. I can't help you there. If up to this point, you know what I mean? Like, I can help you, but I can't help you unless you want to help yourself, you know what I mean? I can take you to water, but I can't, you know. But I digress, so. This is by Mike Freeman. It's Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report does awesome ass fucking work, yo. Hey, yo, by the way, if you live in LA, go vote for Leslie Hagan Morgan. Leslie Hagan Morgan. So he could be the councilman for LA's 59th district. I have lived in that district since I moved to Los Angeles now. It's been 2 years since I lived in Los Angeles, you know what I mean? And in that 2 years since I have lived in this district, I believe that man has a background and the idea and the understanding and his work speaks for itself. Like, but yeah, if you see the name Leslie Hagen Morgan on a ballot, check that name. That's a good dude, you know what I mean? I don't know that man from Adam, but I know he's a good dude based on how he presents himself, what he does, and what he's about. You know what I mean? This is not one of those good men that white racists say about other evil men that want to portray. This is a truly God-fearing good man. You know what I mean? Go vote for that man. He will do great things for this community. He might institute rent control policies so that he might help get rent control in a way that it wouldn't affect homeowners and it wouldn't affect renters, and something like this would not have to cost $1,000 a month. Don't get me wrong, some people might be saying, oh, 1,000, that's not that bad, but come on now. Minimum wage $13.25 a year, even with overtime every week, comes out to less than $20,000 a year still. You paying $1,000 a month, 12,000 of that done gone to rent in 1 year, $8,000 divided by 12. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I would tell you right now, 80 divided by that 12. You know what I mean? That 8,000 divided by that 12 months is shit. I'm just saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's why everybody got like 2-3 jobs in LA. You got to. You know. But hey, I digress though. Bleacher Report, awesome ass job. Go vote for Leslie Hagen Morgan. Okay? Mike Freeman vote on October the 21st of 2018. That was still today. Today, the stream out here say, Bortles out, Kaepernick in? Question mark. Jaguars need a real quarterback to save once promising season. Yes, the Jaguars have talked too much trash and it's coming back to bite them. Corner Jalen Ramsey has never met a microphone he didn't like before he and the Jaguars defense got roasted against the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And now he suddenly doesn't want to talk except to complain about media coverage. I mean, that's how it is. Hey, yo, my pops told me one thing one time, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. That man said the issue of Bill Clinton was on TV, and he was talking about it. He said a man, especially a man, period, if you call yourself a man, if you want to consider yourself a true real man, two things you got to control: your mouth and your zipper. He said Bill Clinton made those two mistakes. He opened his zipper and something happened that he wasn't supposed to be doing anyway, and then he opened his mouth and lied about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we talk about here, guys. That's just, you know. Corner Jalen Ramsey has never met a microphone he didn't like before he and the Jaguars defense got roasted against the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And now he suddenly doesn't want to talk except to complain about media coverage. And yes, the Jaguars are injured. They have a bevy of hot players, the biggest being running back Leonard Fournette, who spent most of the season on the sidelines with a hamstring injury. But all the talking and all the injuries aren't why the Jaguars season is going down the toilet. There is one and only one reason for that: Blake Bortles. Whatever else is right, whatever else is wrong, they can now win unless they get a real quarterback. And with a real quarterback out there waiting to be had in Colin Kaepernick, it raises the question: is this franchise willing to throw away an entire season, a season in which people were picking it to be a threat to win the AFC? I did too, man, I ain't gonna lie. Out of stubbornness over its past faith in Bortles and narrow-mindedness about Kaepernick, Bortles has been so bad, so awful, so absolutely putrid that in Sunday's humiliating 20-7 loss to the Texans, he was benched for Cody Kessler, some white name, German background, white name is him, Kessler. Kessler is German. A former Browns quarterback. Damn, he emphasized Browns. Kessler once went to 0 starter. When you lose your job to him, it's time to re-examine your place in the universe. Yo, speaking of Texans, man, Yo, Deshaun, you still gonna have an awesome ass season, man. Y'all can still make the playoffs, bro. Just like the Redskins, y'all are leading in the in an abysmal division, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just saying. The Titans ain't really a big threat like that. So I'm waiting to see you in the playoffs, boy. I ain't even gonna lie this time. I'm waiting to see you in the playoffs, man. Like, I'm waiting to see you in the playoffs. Let's go. But I digress though. Bortles fumbled twice Sunday, the 26th time in the past 5 seasons he committed at least 2 turnovers. It's the most giveaways by any player in the NFL during that span. But it wasn't just the fumbles. He looked like he's never played the position before, like he's playing quarterback the way a toddler operates the TV remote, clueless, inept, and incapable of running an NFL offense. One of the true tells of how defensive players looked One of the true tells was how defensive players looked on the sidelines. Some of them just looked stunned as they watched Bortles and the offense. They looked like they wanted to lock the offense in the chest, burn it, and then bury the ashes in a hole. When Kessler threw for a touchdown, the defensive players mobbed him with glee. It was as if the players hadn't seen their quarterback make a good throw in months. They were starving for something. You could see the Bortles era is over. In terms of errors, it was one like when the dinosaurs were nuked by an asteroid or the Great Depression. There is no way the Jaguars can ever trust Bortles again. If they do, they are complete fools. Chasing good money after bad. Handing Bortles a 3-year, $54 million contract extension will go down as one of the worst decisions Tom Coughlin has made in his Hall of Fame career. Bortles was bound to Bortles. Yo, I'm tired of saying his damn name, yo. Bortles. It was inevitable, and now we've seen it. 3 turnovers in the past 2 games, 8 in his past 3, 6 of 12 for 61 yards before being benched Sunday. Wow, 6 for 12 though? I thought I was reading basketball stats. In the first half. But as bad as that decision was, sticking with him now would be so much worse. Coughlin might still defend that contract, say Bortles was a quarterback for a team that went to the title game and hung with the Patriots at Gillette. Say Bortles deserved to be paid. But standing by him now would be indefensible. The team knows it can't win with him. It absolutely knows it, and the players in their locker room knows it too. The Athletic Daniel Papa reported that after the game, Jaguars players were screaming at each other and had to be separated. So what did the Jaguars do? Even in the mediocre AFC South, I told you they were mediocre. They cannot win with Kessler any more than they could win with Bortles. They have to trade for somebody or sign somebody and do it now. It's the only thing that can stabilize a rapidly decaying season. They could try to get lucky on trading for Tyrod Taylor out of Cleveland or Jacoby Brissett out of Indianapolis. Or they could try to pry Teddy Bridgewater out of New Orleans. That's not happening. Champagne ain't let him go. And Teddy ain't going to want to leave. As much as he might, I want to be a starter somewhere else, Teddy Bridgewater is staying in New Orleans. He might go to the Super Bowl with New Orleans. You know what I mean? He might. They just got to play great against the Rams for 1 game in the playoffs. That's all. And Champagne and Drew Brees have been known to, make miracles happen. The definition of accuracy as an NFL quarterback is Drew Brees, yo. That man is like physics in motion, yeah. Man, I digress though. The football fan in me creeping out here a little bit. It's unclear what it would take to get these players or if they're even available in Bridgewater's case. And those aren't proven winning NFL quarterbacks, or those are calls the Jaguars have to make. But the first call they should make is to a quarterback who has proved he can win in the NFL and is definitely available, Kaepernick. It wouldn't cost the team much. It wouldn't give up draft pick, and I think Kaepernick will play there. They would have to give him time to get up to speed, but Kaepernick is a genius and can learn any offense. The team could stick with Kessler for 2 weeks for next week's game against Philadelphia and then Following a bye week, insert Kaepernick and bring back Fournette. Unfortunately, all this, yo, they're playing against Philly next week. Ooh, that just added another dimension to my idea and my rant after this. Brother Khan, Shahid Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, that is for you. You all of a sudden has popped in my head after reading this article as far as how you could help the cause of progress in America that I'm talking about, that I've been ranting about for the last 100 and some hours. You know what I mean? Like, you literally could fit in that mold, and I'm gonna conjure the name of Stan Kroenke, Silent Stan, to kind of do, because I think you're still kind of ticked off about that 2011 move that he made, where you were trying to get the Rams and keep the Rams in LA, in St. Louis. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I guess it's better than the Rams in LA. LA has a football team back. I get it. Maybe you wouldn't have moved the Rams to LA. I'm sure you would have, you know what I mean? Because you really had ways of keeping it there and keeping it profitable and keeping it good, you know what I mean? I get it, but I think Stan stepping in and doing what he did, even though I think he undercut you in a way that I didn't feel was right, but it's business, you know what I mean? Y'all were playing $1 million games, billionaire games, you know what I mean? But at the same time though, that's business. But you got to roll in this, Mr. Shahid Khan, you know? As somebody who's an immigrant, no, yes, as somebody who is not just the child of immigrants who emigrated to America, as somebody who emigrated to America with the, you know what I mean, who come from somewhere else, but even though from a family of means, but still you come from somewhere else, you know what I mean, and you had to work as a dishwasher at some point. I still remember your 60-minute segment, that's 60 minutes done. You know what I mean? I can't remember exactly which year, but I think it was after you had bought at the Jaguars already, so maybe 2013, 2014, maybe 2012, I'm not sure, but I digress though. It wouldn't cost the team much, it wouldn't give up draft picks, and I think Kaepernick will play there. They would have to give him some time to get up to speed, but Kaepernick is a genius and can learn any offense. The team could stick with Kessler for next week's game against Philadelphia. I don't think y'all might need to give him time. If you hear this on Monday, October the 22nd, you contact Kaepernick on Monday night or Tuesday morning, and you sign Kaepernick that Tuesday afternoon, and Kaepernick gets a whole or that playbook that Tuesday night or that Wednesday morning, I'm sure Kaepernick will be ready to face the Philadelphia Eagles that are now really the Philadelphia Eagles of last season. Maybe Carson Wentz might finally be feeling 100% at that time. Maybe the return of Kaepernick might inspire that Eagles team, you know what I mean? But with everything that's going on though, you bring back Kaepernick against the Eagles for this upcoming Sunday's game. That Halloween, you know what I mean? Yeah. That would be Halloween. No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. Damn, it's gonna be before Halloween. Damn, I was trying to go in on that Halloween thing, man. But I truly believe that if you brought in Kaepernick on that game on the 28th, Kaepernick will be ready. We're having that playbook since Wednesday or Thursday. He will be. I'm sure he will be. Trust and believe, you know what I mean? But I digress though, you know. There are ways to make compromises. Like Nelson Mandela was talking with trying to negotiate between the ANCs and the National Party, you know what I mean? Like quite literally, there are ways to go by doing these things. And if the Jaguars do this quite literally, it will send a big fuck you to Trump and his racist, bigoted cohorts, you know what I mean? Because they truly believe that. They truly have, just like they have equated Obama's image when he was president as that Negro to be feared, they have equated Kaepernick's face with the NFL as that Negro that should be, yes, not having them on their screens every Sunday for 16 weeks out of the year, and maybe 2 more in the playoffs. I'm just saying, man. And not all white Americans are like that. I'm not saying all white Americans are like that. But you got people all of a sudden now they talk about, oh, Kaepernick ain't in the game no more, viewership is up. So you mean to tell me that if the Jaguars were to sign Kaepernick this week and he plays next week, all of a sudden viewership would dip back? That might be the that might be the narrative though if something was to happen like that. But I don't think it will be. I don't think viewership is gonna dip just because of that. If it does, yeah, it's probably the same reason Trump became president after Obama was president. It's like, now let me stop, yo. Let me finish reading this damn article, man. Let me finish reading that. But somebody just tell me that what I'm doing is good, because if I'm reading something and I'm stopping and interjecting my opinion in between, it might help me out if I'm sued for copyright infringement. I don't know if that's right, you know what I mean? Like I say, I'm ready to face the consequences. Just anyone who thinks I'm infringing on their copyrights, I'm sorry, I'm trying to prove a point of reading. That's why I'm reading to people. It's sad, but I have to. Reading is fundamental, yeah, you know what I mean? But whether you want to come after me for copyright infringements or not, just don't stop this from being out there. You know what I mean? Like, whatever money percentage fraction you want, you can have that. Deal with that. I'm not even tripping off of that. Honest to God, I'm not even tripping off of that. As long as I get to keep my job and pay my rent, you know what I mean? Whatever's happened, happened. You know what I mean? Like, God knows best. I can't do nothing about that. Whatever he don't plan, I can't do nothing about all that shit. You know what I mean? Just like Trump happened, I can't do nothing about that. But we can make sure that it doesn't continue or it doesn't happen again. That you can do something about. Learn from your mistakes. I digress though. And then, following a bye week, insert Kaepernick and bring back Fournette. Unfortunately, all of this will probably never happen. Coughlin would rather drink. Coughlin would rather drink battery acid than sign Kaepernick. That's like saying white Americans would rather drink battery acid than vote for Kamala Harris for president in 2020 after going through the Barack Obama experiment in 2008. Hey, if you're black in America, you see where I'm going? Hey, Jess, Felicia, Jessica, you know who I'm talking to. She know who I'm talking about. I told you, girl, I told you you was going to see somebody that was going to change your mind about wanting to vote. Stop believing about that, oh, your vote don't count, it's some power who controls shit. I get it, you can believe that all you want. But you can't complain about something saying somebody else controlling something if you ain't doing your part about it. That's what I'm saying. Listen, you could literally never pick up a book ever in your life. You could literally never believe in anything else I got to say. But if you as an American citizen, you go vote once a year or twice a year for the primaries and for the goddamn generals, if you go do that twice a year, that's it. Like, that's it. Just don't waste that vote every year. Great black folks tried, fought, died for that shit. 50 years ago, one of those great men died for that shit, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, don't underestimate the value of what can be done to suppress your potential when you don't participate. Active participation. I'm sure y'all heard that in some classroom growing up. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't nothing new. I digress though. I would truly love to see a Harris Biden 2020 ticket. Let me be in West Africa somewhere, being the father I was meant to be to Geneva. So maybe in like 40 years, 10 years, she can just look at this and just look at me and just shake her head like, shit, you my daddy for real, you know what I mean? I'm trying to say, please don't kill me. I'm just saying. You might think I'm crazy for just keep saying that, but I'm not, yeah. Like, the potential for people paying attention to what I've been running my mouth about, the positive change that could come from the potential from people actually hearing what I'm trying to drive home is mind-boggling. It's like John McCain said. What did he say? What did he say? What did John McCain say? Was it John McCain or was it? Nah, it wasn't John McCain. It wasn't John McCain. It was. What was it? Come on now. I know where this is at. I remember where it was at. Like Michael Every Dyson said, an extraordinary social transformation, equality for all, hatred for none. I'm sorry, yeah. That's what reading does to me, you know what I mean? You open up a book, you open up something, you start reading some good, and if you read enough, a lot of dots are connected in your mind that certain things you just wipe off your mind. That's why you don't hear white folks talking about politics. You don't hear white folks talk about who they're voting for, who they're doing this and that for, you know what I mean? Try to have a political discussion with a person, with a Caucasian. I'm not talking about somebody, some white person who you know don't read, don't really give a fuck about shit. I'm not talking about, you know what I mean, the ones who have not tapped into what it means to be Caucasian American. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about true, real white Americans. Try to have a conversation about politics. That conversation is gonna turn into something else that has nothing to do with politics because they're not gonna talk about it. I get it. It's a beautiful thing. You can afford to not talk about something where you don't have to worry about the negative ramifications of that something. That was an awesome ass segue thought, yo. I hadn't realized it was that awesome till I came out with it. I'm sorry. I'm feeling myself right now. I have a good feeling, I mean, like I have a good, warm, gooey feeling in my heart. I feel like by this point, if you're black in America and you've listened to half of what I've said by this point, you probably have a positive attitude towards exercising your right to vote. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. You know what I mean? But I truly believe that, you know what I mean, maybe hearts and minds are becoming open. I digress though. Unfortunately, all of this will probably never happen. Coughlin will probably rather drink battery acid than sign Kaepernick. But if he did, the change in the team's momentum would be monumental. So the Jaguars and Coughlin have to ask themselves, do they want to throw away a season over pride? Or over contractual commitments to Bordeaux? Or even to the lie propagated over the true intentions of Kaepernick's protest? The Panthers needed a safety and they signed Eric Reid, the man who started the protest with Kaepernick. Ooh, and another thing, NFL owners out there, Roger Goodell, guess what? If you sign Kaepernick, right, if you guys don't step in the way, don't say nothing to Brother Khan's wanting to sign Kaepernick, that collusion suit is out the window now. And Kaepernick has said he wouldn't protest again because his protest has sent a message already. All Kaepernick got to do is on that Tuesday, November 6th, since you will be off anyway, coordinate. Man, get in touch with with Greyhound, get in touch with some bus company, get in touch with anybody. Get some buses, get some, you ain't gotta make it all, you can make it as comfortable, you ain't gotta make it all fancy, we don't need no TVs and none of that. Get people to where they gotta go, man, get them to the polls, let people go vote. Send a message to Trump and his racist acolytes, just for the simple fact that they hijacked your message. You are quite literally a black man in a position, because you do have money, in a position, if you do get signed to do something to help send a message, so something like what you were protesting about is reduced over the next 10, 15, 20 years. It's not going to happen overnight. Anything, everything, whatever progress I'm talking about is never going to happen overnight. If you've missed that message at any point through this, you're sadly mistaken. That's why I'm asking for 50 years to start. If you do something every day for 50 years, you ain't never gonna stop doing it. 62 million of those white Americans who voted for Trump, quite literally, about maybe 40 or 2 or 39 million of them, 39 million of those motherfuckers right there are over 50 years of age. And they've had the same thought in their mind for 50 years that the black man should never be in a position of power, that the black man should never be shit, that the black man is shit. I'm sorry, these are not my thoughts, these are their thoughts. And you asking me how I know because I'm black in America. Wakanda forever. It's like, now let me stop. Hey, my bad. I got into a little zone there. I mean, people that know me know, man. Don't get me started. You want to get me started? Walk up to me and say Obama or some shit. Don't be black when you say that now. That's a problem. That's a problem. Don't be black when you say that. And don't be over 50 years of age when you say that. And don't be over 60 years of age when you say that. Because if you're over 60, that means you were at least 10 years of age when Dr. King was killed. And if you were that old when Dr. King was killed, and Obama became president, you voted for him once in 2008 probably, and you never voted for anything that had to do with the Democratic Party in every year since, you're mine for the eating. I'm just saying. And if you think just because there's probably going to be other black people around, and what the fuck is this accent to the British scratcher going to tell me that me and my other brothers and sisters over here who don't know shit, trust me, you got another thing coming. Like I've told you already, man, like my pops tell me, I fell asleep in Africa and I woke up in America, where the black man was always kept down. Till I open my mouth, that police officer ain't gonna know me from Jerome or Dell. He gonna shoot me just like he gonna shoot them if I'm not acting in my place. I digress though. So if you do vote every year for the rest of your life, if you do vote every year for the next 50 years, if you're 18 years today, that means you'll be voting till you what? 68, right? Okay. If you do vote every year, maybe you might see one more black president. If Kamala and Biden decide to do it, Harris Biden 2020, you heard it here first. I don't want credit for it. It's just an idea. I know some people have thought it too, but you know, just like that hat that I'm gonna have that says "Make America White Again." But it's not gonna be red though. It's gonna be black, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be plain black with the regular white, you know what I mean? Make America white again. My world, motherfucker. Fuck, sucker. It's like, now let me stop. I'm sorry. I digress, though. Go vote, man. And I can't tell you who to vote for, but I can tell you, don't vote for the Republican. Them motherfuckers have proven themselves to not be good at all. You know what I mean? I hear so many black folks talk about the Republicans. I get it. It's the party of Lincoln, it's the party of Reagan. I get it, but it's really not the party of Lincoln. It is the party of Reagan. Reagan was a racist bigot. Listen, man, have your opinions about the man. He was a great American president. I get it. Trickle down economics. That shit trickled down halfway to people making $75,000 or more a year. You could literally do a survey of a greater percentage of African Americans in this country who in their lifetime hasn't really crossed the $40,000 a year bracket. After Trump became president, and then Missouri had you got all Republicans running in Missouri, man. So after that shit happened, it was this news report I read. I'm not going to be able to find it right now, but it was something about the McDonald's in St. Louis or something where we're reverting back to the federal minimum wage, to the minimum wage that had been instituted by the city council of like $15 an hour or $14 an hour or some shit. It was a higher minimum wage that was going to go back to what it was before it got to that point. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but does that sound right? Does that sound right? Like that don't sound right. That's going backwards. Companies will not lose money if they pay their people more. Believe that. Don't let no company fool you that. If it's a small little business, I get it. But big corporations and shit like that will not lose money. They just have to adjust their numbers. They can make a little less profit, but they're gonna keep making profit. I get it, but they're gonna keep making profit. So don't be seeing they try to take this out of the business, all business. I get it, but if your people that are making you the money and not being taken care of well cannot afford, if your people that's coming and working in 30-40 hours a week and not sure when their next meal is gonna come, and they come to work and work in a hungry stomach, or not sure where they're gonna get the rest of their money for their rent after the next couple of months, you know what I mean? Then what's the point of you pay them? Like, I'm not saying it's a company's fault, I'm not saying it's a business fault, but it's certain things like laws and shit that can change how they do their businesses. It's nothing wrong with that. Private business is what runs an economy. I get it. But just like the days of Theodore Roosevelt, a century or so ago, you know what I mean? Just like the days of that, if it's not for government regulation to keep businesses at bay, businesses will run people ragged and not give a fuck. I'm not talking about deregulation, no. I know Republicans have hijacked that word and like use it to always want to slam Democrats, and the Democrats don't have the backbone to want to break it down because we don't have that man anymore. That man right there knew how to shut Republicans up. He just never had the support or the true Democratic base in this country. Man, can you imagine if black folks had gone out and voted every year for just Democrats in Congress, period? How much more Obama would have done? Y'all know that apology that every backwards thinking black person wanted Obama to get from white Americans for slavery? I have had so many grown folks say that out of their mouth. Oh, Obama should have had them apologize for slavery. What was that going to solve? I get it. The apology would have, I get it. You want to find that apology? Look at every white man in the face and say, good morning, sir. How you doing today? Like, that apology is there. You just got to see it in their faces when they're trying to cover for something else, you know what I mean? I get it. Obama doing something like that would have been stupid. That's something this dumbass Trump would do. Not a great, smart thinking man like Barack Hussein Obama. I'm just saying, if you don't get that, I can't help you, yo. The only thing that will help you right now, if you smack yourself upside the head, like, just smack yourself, just pull a Gibbs on the nose right now, like, you know. Where was I at? The Panthers needed a safety and they signed Eric Reid, the man who started the protest with Kaepernick. When Reid signed, Earth kept spinning through the solar system unaffected. The same would happen with Kaepernick. The Jaguars can still win this year and Coughlin can still fix his mistake, but only if he doesn't let pride or stupidity get in the way. Oh wait, hold on, another fumble. Mike Freeman covers the NFL for Bleacher Report. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Freeman NFL. Yo, if you wonder why I'm more quiet looking, like, that's one of the reasons, yo. I have not been able to work up the nerve to wanna be in that cipher of social media with the commenting and the blog posts and all that. Like, don't get me wrong, I have had aspirations and ambitions for different certain aspects of my life, my whole life, you know what I mean? I've always been a smart, intelligent, ambitious black man, you know what I mean? Whether it was in Africa, whether it was in America. It was a time when I wanted to be a computer scientist, but then I realized that college was going to cost about $250,000 a year. And mommy and daddy were going to like, say that I won't away. But I digress though. So like, so after this article right here, they says there are 38 comments. Someone from by Monroe Williams. You can tell that's this one from Ryan Laskowski. I know what he's gonna say. There's one from Mike Bell, one from Joe Flores, one from Scott Baddix, you know, but Scott Baddix, I can't see the picture, but he looked like some white boy lounging with his child on some lawn chair. It says, what a joke. You mean the same Kaepernick that got benched for playing Gabbett? The one that hasn't played any football in 2 years? This article is clickbait. If he's serious, he would have said they should have traded for Teddy Bridgewater or should trade for disgruntled Tyrod Taylor, both being better options than Kaepernick. And then Jimmy Wallace, who has a car he probably doesn't own, as his profile pic, says, my 8-year-old grandson could play better, and definitely all caps. You know how Trump be doing the all caps? He said, my 8-year-old grandson could play better and definitely show more respect. All 3 exclamations and the US flag. Try to tell you, man, hey, Jimmy Wallace went all straight patriotic, bigoted Americanism, Lord, all the motherfucker, like, you went, man, he went all Captain America racism up in this motherfucker. I'm not saying Captain America is a racist, that's not what I'm saying. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, he went Captain America of racism. Like, that was awesome. Like, since Jimmy Wallace looked like he says he has an 8-year-old grandson, that means Jimmy is probably over the age of 60. And Jimmy is definitely a Trump supporter, you know what I mean? And Jimmy is definitely a racist, you know what I mean? And Jimmy lives at home with both parents, and Jimmy lives at, say that, you know what I mean? I get it. Trying to tell y'all, man. And I guarantee you, Jimmy's gonna go vote, y'all. If you're black in America, think about Jimmy Wallace voting. And his bigoted ass has been voting every year since he turned 18. If he's 68 right now, he's been voting for 50 years. And Jimmy can still say his 8-year-old grandson could play better than Colin Kaepernick and definitely show some respect by not kneeling to protest and exercising his First Amendment right. And Jimmy is right, because Jimmy's 8-year-old grandson is gonna be probably one of them people who gets to hire me one day as a 30-some-year-old or as a 40-some-year-old. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, this is America. It's like, now let me stop. But Joe Flores, my Latin brothers, man, I'm trying to tell you, yo, imagine if black and brown put aside our differences and stop being enemies and refuse to be enemies, yo. Can you imagine that? Psst. Like them people at that school in Israel try to do. I know Asia, the other side is saying something about kill Arabs or some shit. I get it. Like, they got deeper problems that black and brown got. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know, but still. And Mike Bell wrote a lengthy thing that, I ain't gonna read that. Ryan Laskowski, yeah, man, I am making y'all racist motherfuckers as famous. I'm sorry, but, you know what I mean? I'm putting my name out there, so I figure I might as well put your name out there too, you know? What up, Jimmy? Definitely show some respect, huh? Yeah, that's the same 8-year-old grandson who will look at you or look at his mother or father say, "Shut up, mommy. Shut up, daddy." Yo, white kids was, man, I don't see some white kids say some things to their parents. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was just a joke when I used to hear that before immigrating to the United States or when I just got here. Till I started seeing that shit for myself with my own face, yo. Yep. Woo. I would have been a toothless ass motherfucker growing up. You stupid, man. But Ryan Laskowski said, don't GM sign players? Since when is Coughlin coaching and extending players' contract? What the fuck is the article talk about? I couldn't read more than 2 sentences. Because you're stupid, Ryan. You sound like your president that you probably voted for. I digress though. Oh yeah. This is something this is at thedailybiz.com. And it is by Adam Ronsley. And it starts changing the law. It says, your turn. Will there be new constitutional amendments under Trump?